Good morning, everybody. This is Stacy Renee, and I'm a transformational mindset coach, but I'm also in a transformation myself. So I just wanted to share with you this morning about polarities. I've talked to, on Facebook about polarities because that's where a lot of people that I know are up at the time of morning when I decide to do that about 6:30 every morning. But I did want to share with you all about polarities too. While we're sitting in these mean times, in this part of the transformation, I shared with my candles this morning as I started that, because I have 3 candles. For me, I pray in the morning, and pray is our words to our source, whoever we perceive that to be, because this isn't about me telling you who your source needs to be, or if you need a source even. I mean, for me it works, but that's the first thing I do in the morning is I'm attuned to what it is that I want to create, what it is that I want to see, what it is that I'm going to do today, and where I want to be. I'm in charge of that. And so in this transformation journey, that's what I'm sharing, is that in the polarities, there's the obvious, there's security and insecurity, which is something that you work with when you're in the position transformation, like me, is sometimes we're insecure and sometimes we're secure. Like many people, is that the job thing. I gave up what appeared to be my secure job, 6 weeks ago in this transformation journey. It was something that I had prayed about with my candles and that I decided to do and follow through. And, a lot of people are waiting for the right and perfect time, but if we pray about it and then we feel that inner conviction, if we're praying about it, first off, that's a conviction, that this is something that we need to think about, because our thoughts, aren't, stuff is popping up on our phone, but for us to be in charge of our thoughts and in control. Now, thoughts from the past, present, and future will always be going on in our mind. So it's about, thoughts producing their kind. So there's this harmony in between of chaos, of the seen and unseen, of, there's attraction and repulsion as part of this magnetization going on in the universe, if that's what you believe. And I believe in everything. I believe that my source has a part in everything, that we can find source in it if we choose to. And so we can, as I've shared before, we can be going through it or growing through it. Say good morning to Grinchy. Grinchy, say good morning. Grinchy desires to be in front of the camera too, to control. Grinch is controlling. Some things we cannot control. And usually control is because of people's comfort, is they're uncomfortable with something. Uncomfortability can lead to us finding comfort, right? So this is what I mean by in the transformative type. If we're feeling uncomfortable, and what we really want is to be comfortable. We don't have to be stuck in uncomfortable and seeing comfort as non-attainable. Is that there's part of a transformation. So in my candles, I have the first one that's a creative one. I'm praying for my creativity, that divine spark, to help me. And I believe that we're a part of unity and community. So sometimes in the meantime, like right now, I'm just helping people. This evening, I have a free coaching group that I'm doing, with people to help, bring awareness to things that affect our soul. Because that's the thing that's going to keep going to me, as our souls continue to go. While our bodies will be doing different things to align with our mind, our soul is always evolving. Okay? So that first candle is the magic, and you have to believe. So all of us getting in tune with what our belief system is. What is your belief system? And you don't have to believe like me. It's just getting an empowering belief system, a nurturing one. And the thing is when we're born, sometimes our parents were our gods. And so sometimes we may need to heal from some of the things, the mindsets that were instilled in us, so that were imprinted, embedded, imposed, so that we have our own mindset so we can grow. Because that's what, we're growing all the time. That's inevitable. Okay? So is pain and pleasure is part of these. And in between, we know that the pain's not going to last forever and the pleasure's not going to last forever. So what can we do in the meantime, in the between time, meanwhile? And so that's where the transformation comes in, is in the meanwhile. Is that, okay, so this is what I want to create. Most people give up on their dreams because they want to go from creation to manifestation. And there's this meantime, this meanwhile, this in-between time, the mystery is so it is, the transformation, you know. So we are transforming. We're gaining our authenticity, who we're meant to be in this time. Because a lot of times people think of themselves as a failure when they don't feel like they have what they want, when they are in that uncomfort and they don't know how to get to that comfort. It's okay. It's part of a transformation. We all feel it. So we all feel insecure sometimes, and we feel secure sometimes. Attraction and repulsion. That when we get attuned to ourselves and learning this process and being in charge of what we have ingrained, embodied, and imprinted within ourselves, when we're able to change and evolve and turn, it doesn't mean that what was in the past was necessarily bad. It doesn't mean it's necessarily good, right? Looking at these polarities, is there's this in between. What did I learn? From what I perceived that was bad that gave me the power for my good today, right? But we have to be in the process, this transformation, so that we don't get stuck in the either or, the this or the that, and the us and the them. Is there is unity and community, you know. And so being able to have, first off, belief in that first candle and the magic, the creativity, believing in yourself, believing in some kind of source maybe to empower you through the transformation, the mystery, because that's where you learn to have faith. And so we continue to have faith. Maybe we need to recalibrate and everything else and just sit with it and know that it's not instant gratification, that transformation requires our own authenticity, because your perception is important. You are important. Your gift is important. This is where we go from being sad ass to badass, because the last candle, see, so we have the second candle, that's peace. Learning to find peace through the transformation journey, that harmony. Not having to have it one way and not having to look back in the way that we perceived that it was, you know, all the time. Healing from whatever didn't work in the past so that we can embrace what's coming. Because that manifestation, the power of what we've prayed for me, what I've prayed for each day, each hour, to come in that manifestation part, and that is described as a miracle for some people. A miracle doesn't happen just because you sit there on the couch and pray for it. It might, but chances are that it requires that action on the second candle. It's a process. It's not something, that's why so many people give up, because you don't just say, I'm going to do this and do one thing to make these things happen, because we're creating what we want to be, what we want to see in the world in this transformation part, okay? So it's belief, faith, and trust in the magic, mystery, and miracles in each and every one of us. Knowing that we have the grace with the creativity. We have peace through the transformation and power and manifestation. Okay, because we don't know what we know until we know it. And that's the part where we grow in the transformation part. So I hope this video has been helpful today. As we're at Thursday, you've had things happen this week that may have attracted or repulsed you, but use whatever it was, the attraction to keep going forward, the repulsion not to stop, but also to keep growing forward, because you aren't who you were yesterday. Your cells are changing every day, you're changing every day, your soul is growing every day, you are evolving every day. All right, and you're so worthy. You are so worthy of this evolution, that you're not this or that. You know, as I'm growing through this, I'm not getting my eyelashes done anymore because I'm transforming, and that's okay. Because all these things that weren't me get to go away. Is that, yeah, do eyelashes look great? Yeah, they do. I'm not against eyelashes. I'm not against any of these things. But we're getting down to what's real and important, paying the electric bill. You know, that used to not be a factor, but right now in this transformation process, it is. But I've been here before, you know, and there's nothing wrong with me that I'm here again. It just helps me focus on what is within. All right? So don't stay stuck. Don't stay stuck. Keep going. Keep growing. Okay? All right. Have an amazing day. All right. Thank you.